Allow me, if you will indulge, to propose a toast in your name, heroes. To friends, and to Barovia.
To Barovia.
To friends.
Hey Dungeoneers, thanks for joining us for another episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon to be notified every time we post a new video. Doing so gives us advantage on our Constitution saves against the almighty algorithm. Thanks Dungeoneers, and take your listen with advantage. When last we left our heroes, after saying goodbye to friends in Vallaki and a quick shopping trip, the party set off to Ravenloft Castle to accept Strahd's invitation to dinner. Taking an unmanned coach to the castle gates and making their way inside, they were received by Rahadin, the elven steward of the castle. After some initial skirmishing dialogue, Rahadin brought the party into the main dining chamber where Strahd awaited them. The count seemed in a jovial mood, speaking of friendship and comfort. That was until he made a toast in their name, and the floor dropped out from beneath our heroes' very feet. Where are they being taken, and what awaits them in the dark corners of Ravenloft Castle? Find out now on the Strahdcast. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Shuffle off this mortal coil and transport yourselves to the far, foggy realm of Barovia.
Your chair does not drop out from underneath you, Callister.
Callister looks around and goes,
Everybody else vanishes.
to be expected.
But of course, I wanted to talk to you first.
Is this really happening, or is this all in the mind?
This is very real, my friend. Very real indeed.
And my mates are alright?
Well, that largely depends on them. But for the moment, they are quite safe. You need not fear.
Alright, then I'll deal with you honestly. Shoot.
Well, Callister, I wanted to speak to you first. After all, you are the leader of your little group, no?
What made you say that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I suppose I assumed. I've watched you in your time here. The others, I've seen them all before. Ruled by their emotions, blinded by some desperate quest for justice. But you... Well, I'll be frank, Callister, I see much of myself in you.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I suppose thank you.
I see your struggle. You live in darkness, yet see the light. And you walk this path with pragmatism, realism. This reflects in me. For I too, Callister, seek to do good here. To bring this place, this valley, these people, to a more prosperous future. But at every turn, I am waylaid, buffeted by the weakness of the people here. Let me ask you this. Why do you fight for these people? You do not know them. They offer you nothing. What have they done in return for all the good you have done for them?
It seems to me, Count, that there's so much in the world. Even in this little corner we found ourselves in, Barovia, wherever it is. There's lands, there's valleys, there's Krez, Baba Lazaga, people floating around in skulls, druids over here, druids over there. There's so much. One gem, I've seen the power that just tapping one gem can do, and there's 3. And so the reason I fought is it seems to me that even in this dark little corner, there's plenty to go around. And there's no need to hoard it.
And I agree. And that is why I made this place my home. When first I came here, I saw the potential of this place. The potential for greatness. And that is the greatness I have strived for here. But I admit, I have been alive for so long. May I speak my soul to you, Callister?
Of course.
I worry sometimes that with all this power, all this time, I may have begun to drift. I know that my intentions are good and pure. I do what I do out of a desire to bring peace, prosperity to these people, my people.
I believe you.
I worry I have lost my way. But I see you. I see such strength in you. I see your struggle, your fire, your determination. And I cannot help but wonder, will he not be a better ruler for this place than I?
That's why you brought us here.
I seek a successor. Someone who can take up the mantle of Lord of Barovia. And I have seen many heroes in my time, Callister, but none quite like you. And I think together we could do great things. I think we need not be enemies.
Can I ask you a question?
By all means.
What happened to the hero that was here before you?
Specifically?
The Morning Lord.
The god of this place. I will be frank, Callister. In my experience, gods who cloak themselves in light seek to blind, so that you cannot see what they really are. In the darkness, people are who they really are, for there is nothing left to hide. The Morning Lord has no hold here anymore. I am Lord, and I am hoping that one day, perhaps it will be you.
Do you know how old I am, Count von Varvich?
I will not insult you to guess.
I'm 30 years old. I have the occasional good idea. But most of my life, I just try to get by, try to set what little I can right.
And so you have, and done a splendid job, if I may be so bold. And that is what I admire in you. Potential. I think under my tutelage, we could build something. We could turn this valley into a beacon for all the world to follow.
But this world you live in, even this castle you've created for yourself, it's so cold. It's not me at all.
That is why I need your light, Callister. That is why I need you.
Count, I appreciate the gesture. I appreciate you seeing me. You took a friend. You're I appreciate the gesture. But in my experience, gifts and shortcuts, there's always a cost. And I'm pretty sure if I allowed myself of you, there'd be a lot of paying to do.
Already, you deliver me wisdom. I know I have not always done right, but I have done the best I know how. I need help as much as a successor. You need not answer me now. I do not expect you to make such a weighty decision after one meal. But, and he pulls from his jacket a sealed letter. with a wax seal on the fold. Take this. Keep it with you. Think about what I have said. And if the day comes where you desire to talk again, open it, and I will be there for you.
Can you do me a favor? Whenever you talk to Winnie, be kind to her. Some choices you've made have left some very deep wounds on her. Be gentle, be kind.
You are right. I do not have much experience dealing with one so young. When I was a boy, my father had a particular way to deal with willfulness. I fear his sins have lived in my heart. But I will think on what you have said.
You want to know something, Strahd?
Please.
Get this. Check this out, Strahd. So, I found a book, right? It had a map. And it showed Barovia. And Castle Ravenloft wasn't here yet.
Oh.
And that was I think, I could be wrong. I'm really bad with dates and numbers. That's not my forte. I remember faces. The map was 400 years old. Did you know Drogar's older than Castle Ravenloft? That blew my mind too!
It's startling thought, no? Well, perhaps I should pay him a little more deference as he is the elder here, no?
So have you been around that long as the castle?
And before.
And you were but a man before you came here?
I was, once.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
By all means. We are friends.
What was it like going from being a regular old bloke to whatever demigod thing you are now?
A vampire.
Well, you're not just a vampire. Because we fought your brides. They're like vampires.
Oh, no.
There's something else.
Oh, no, Callister. They are... I made them. I am a real fucking vampire.
The first?
Not the first, but one of the oldest ones. And to answer your question, do you know what the strangest part is?
What?
My heart still beats.
Metaphorically, or do you mean it actually still beats?
It does.
May I?
And you put a hand to his chest. And you don't feel anything at first, but after a few seconds, you do feel it. And a few more seconds go by, and it gives another just faint little beat.
You want to know something strange about me?
Yeah.
So, I spend so much time in the shadows, but there's always like this little like pin. There's always like this little flame, like waiting to light. And the strange thing is, when things are the darkest, and when I'm the furthest away from myself, it's almost as if it gets brighter then.
Do you think you could teach me to find this light?
Callister puts 4 trill on the table.
What is this? May I?
You may.
Stunning craftsmanship.
That's what taught me.
Truly. And he kind of runs a finger along. Cuts his finger a little bit on it. Oh. I should be more careful.
He's cheeky.
Indeed. Thank you, Callister, for sharing and for talking. My still beating heart gladdens. I think we have much to learn from each other. Now, unless there is anything else, I must attend to the rest of your friends.
Be good to my friends.
You have my word.
All right.
I shall do no harm to them.
Some of them have quite the mouth on them.
Oh,
Just say it up.
Don't I know? All right. Can you send in Winnie, please?
Sure.
I
told you I had something crazy planned.
This is weird. You're making it weird.
Have a seat. So, Winnie, as you hear that chime, the floor underneath your chair disappears and you find yourself falling through darkness, tumbling, until you land in a room illuminated by cool blue light. Torches held in sconces along the walls flicker with a pale blue fire. There's no furniture. At the center of the room stands a pedestal, on top of which is a silver bowl. What would you like to do?
I reach over to my bag to grab my tally-ho to cast light on his eyes.
Okay.
And then I realize I don't have my tally-ho.
You left him with Lydia.
So I just grab the symbol of the Way Warden and cast light on it.
Illuminating the room around you. But still that cold blue light still sort of presses in on the periphery of the light emanating from your medallion.
And I just kind of look around and then walk slowly up to the silver bowl.
It's about, the pedestal is about as tall as you are, but as you approach it, the cobblestone of the floor moves up to create a staircase that you can walk up.
And I say to the staircase and also nobody, I got it, I'm getting better. And I walk up.
Peering over the side of the bowl, it is filled with a strange silvery substance. It doesn't look quite liquid, but it is certainly not solid. In real life, if you've ever seen mercury, it looks like that.
Yeah. I reach my hand out and put it like an inch over it and feel if there's any, like, I don't know, feel if there's any heat or cold coming off of it, feel if there's little splatters coming up if something stings me. I just hold my hand over it.
You do so. And as your hand moves closer, it does react. It starts to just ripple a little bit. And as you stand there with your hand over, and you can feel it's cool. Like when you put your hand close to a window in the dead of winter. You know what I mean? You can feel it like drawing the heat from your hand out a little bit. And as you stand there with your hand over it, beautiful, is it not?
Yeah.
You whirl around, and standing in the corner is Strahd. Do you know what this is, young Winnie?
No.
Would you like to?
Yeah.
There are many amongst your order who would be familiar with such an object. You may even have seen one, perhaps, though not quite like this, in the monastery from which you came. It is a scrying pool. And what it does is allows us to view those we love from great distances. I know, young Winnie, beyond this fog, beyond these mountains, you have a family. Would you like to see them?
Why would you let me see them if you're just going to kill me anyways?
I don't want to kill you.
You said inevitable demise is what you said.
Inevitable along your current course. But there are other options. I am of the opinion we need not be enemies. But in fact, together, we could accomplish great things. This is a gesture of good faith. A token for you to prove my intentions, not to be your enemy. I meant what I said.
You, all of you, are different than what has come before. I have been here for 427 years, and I have never seen the like of all of you. I think together we could do great things, and so I offer this gift to view your family, wherever they might be.
Is it just a gift?
I expect nothing in return.
It doesn't cost anything?
I simply wish to do you a favor. And your friend, Callister, whom I just left, he said, when I spoke to you, to be kind. And so, here I am, being kind. Do you want to see them?
Did you know Drogar is older than you?
Callister said the same thing.
Isn't that crazy?
It is, though I suppose from his demeanor I should have guessed he was an old fart.
We get to say that. You don't get to say that.
My apologies. I should show proper deference for my elders.
Do you know something? Sometimes when somebody apologizes for doing something bad, you can feel their apology. I don't feel anything when you apologize.
I am sorry. I have been alone for a long time, and I worry in all my years I have lost my way. I grow weary, cold, angry. I was not always this way, and I see in you, young Winnie, a bright flame, perhaps one strong enough to rekindle what I have lost. I am sorry. I have not always done right, but I have done as I have been taught by my father.
Was he mean? Did he steal ladies?
And much worse.
It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
I think you're right. Let this be the first patch as I begin mending fences.
Show them to me.
Look into the pool.
And I'll lean over and look.
Conjure them in your mind and in your heart. The surface of the pool again begins to shift. And as it does, it begins to swirl. Color and shape begins to corporeate. And as the swirling slows, 3 gravestones bearing your mother's name, your brother's name, and Uncle Ham's name. Well, do you see them?
I pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're lying or the cricket is lying.
I do not understand, Winnie. What do you mean?
I believe crickets more than you.
Crickets? What? I do not know of what you speak.
No, I bet you don't.
What is it you saw, young Winnie?
Where's Irina?
What do you mean?
Can you answer something that I am saying with something other than a question? Answer me an answer!
Irina works hard in preparation for our wedding. That is all you need know. I am trying to help you, young Winselette. I do not know where this anger bursts from.
It doesn't matter! It doesn't matter if you know where it comes from. It's not for you. It's for me. Where's Irina?
She's where she belongs. I'm very disappointed, Winnie. I really thought we could have been friends.
You did not, you big old liar. Did you really think that we would be friends?
One can always hope. But I see I was foolish to put my trust in you. Goodbye, Winnie. And you're again falling through blackness. Can you please send in Kasle? You're such a hero.
Kasle Othro at the principal's office.
So, Kaz,
Yes.
as you hear that chime,
Yeah.
the floor underneath your chair vanishes, and you find yourself falling through darkness. You tumble through the cold, icy air of Castle Ravenloft until at last you find yourself crashing down on through the top canopy of a 4-poster bed, landing on the mattress, splitting it in half. You hear a small shriek from the other side of the room, but your vision is obscured by the collapsing timbers, feathers, and linen of the now shattered bed that you have landed on. You hear from the...
Yeah, I want to investigate this voice. I want to know who made that noise.
Moving through the forest of bits of wood, feather, and comforter, you look, and sitting at a vanity across the way is a young girl in a really elegant purple dress. She can't be more than 11. But she looks at you with an expression of pure shock on her face. Who are you?
My name's Kaz.
Kaz? Are you a knight? Have you come to rescue me?
Well, that's...
Oh, it's just as I always dreamed!
Wait,
shattering your way
Shut
into
up!
my...
That's not why we came. I don't know who you are.
Oh, my apologies. I've just grown so excited. I've been waiting for this for so long. My name is Gertruda. I am the princess captured in the faraway darkened fortress, and you clearly are my knight in shining, well, not armor, but are those animal skins?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Not really an armor kind of gal.
That's not it. Oh, are you a woman?
Is that a problem?
No, I suppose not. That's just not exactly what I had expected. But nonetheless, I am now ready to be rescued.
From what?
Well, I'm being held captive here by an evil sorcerer, vampire, and wizard.
Named?
Strahd von Zarovich.
Okay, at least we have that in common. Great.
Yes, you see, I came here because all my life I lived in the small, pitiful town of Barovia, looking up at this grand castle, dreaming of adventures, the balls and knights and feasts that dwelt within. Well, come to find out, it's a rather dreary place.
That's true.
And so I've been held here against my will for so long now, but you've come to rescue me. Oh, capitalist as I always imagined. Where is your magnificent steed? Will you lay me upon it and we ride off into the sunset?
Actually,
such as it is in Barovia?
Actually, I slapped it on the ass and sent it back to Vallaki.
That language is rather crude.
You're going to have to get used to that if you're going to be spending time with me. How old are you?
I am 11 3/4.
Okay, great. Wow. Strahd is even worse than I thought.
I expect my mother is terribly worried about me.
I expect so too. Okay, great.
But all is well now that my valiant knight has come, literally fallen out of the sky to rescue me. Oh, this is so capital.
Sorry about the bed.
Oh, well, I shan't need it any longer now that you've come to take me away from this dark and dreary place.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have no idea what to do here.
Oh, I must pack my things. And she gets up and immediately starts like throwing open trunks and like pulling out dresses and like throwing them into a backpack.
Oh my god. Don't take more than you can carry comfortably. I can't.
Well, I'll take as much as I can carry and you can carry as too. That's only right that you should be a proper knight and carry all my things.
I think I need you to ask to forget everything you know about proper knights before we do anything.
What do you mean? I've researched the subject extensively.
Yeah, and you thought I was going to be a man, so like, how far did that get you?
Well, sure, there are slight variations, but other than that, I mean, clearly you're of strong stature, able body, and keen mind.
Well, you're right there. Can't argue with that.
And you are clearly armed to the teeth. All you need to do now is slay the vampire and we shall escape.
Okay. This doesn't really fit into the whole plan. Okay, so my princess is in another castle. I gotta be totally honest with you here, Gertruda. I don't know who you are, but I came here hoping to find out some more about Irina. Have you met Irina?
No, I'm afraid not. Is she a princess as well?
Something like that. She's a captive of Strahd is the important part.
Well, you are to rescue me and no one else.
We didn't even know if we were going to be rescuing anybody.
Well, it doesn't matter now. Now you've found me, and I demand to be the only princess you rescue here today. You can come back for this Irina person at a later date.
What if I don't rescue any princesses today?
Well, of course you're going to rescue a princess. You're a knight, are you not?
I mean, no, I'm not.
This is all very disappointing.
Yeah, I see that. I'm a barbarian. I'm not a knight. I come from the desert. I don't have armor. I have a javelin that drinks blood.
Oh, well, very well.
But I will tell you one thing, which is that Strahd von Zarovich is no friend of mine, and I have every intention of killing him slowly and painfully.
So, you don't want to rescue me?
Don't get me wrong. I do. I also just don't really know how I would go about that. Where the hell am I?
Can I like look around?
Yeah. Okay. So you're in you seem to be just sort of in like a chamber that seems to be. It's sort of like, it's one room, but it has all the amenities of like a whole house. You imagine that she lives in just this room.
It's like a studio apartment.
Like there's a little kitchenette and there was a bed that you've probably smashed.
Sure.
There's like cabinets and armoires and dressers and things of that nature. Sprawled all over the floor, these like really fine, intricately carved toys, and there's like dresses and fairy wands and princess crowns everywhere.
Is there anything that looks like it might be of Blinsky make?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there's a bunch of things that are recognizably horrifying, so you figure they must be Blinsky.
This is an original Blinsky.
Well, at the very least, I've been trapped in this room for ever so long. Can we at least get out of this room?
Well, I want to get out of this room too, so I can't really stop you from coming with me.
Most excellent. The mission is back on.
Yeah,
all right.
okay.
Well, bravely batter down that door and we shall be on our way.
Great.
All right, I want to try to batter down the door. I just give like a fireman kick.
Yeah, okay, give me an athletics check.
Okay, where are my dice? That's 17. What's my strength bonus?
That's enough.
Okay.
Yeah, you give a swift fireman's kick to the doorknob, and it goes, like blast. You hear the metal ping off the wall on the opposite side, and the door swings wide. And Gertrude goes, such tremendous strength.
I'm gonna like swing around real quickly and like put a finger up to her face.
You need to promise me something right now. Are you now, or have you ever been, a vampire?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of.
You would know if you were a vampire.
Well, then I guess I'm not.
Strahd has never bitten you or extracted any blood or...
Stinky old vampire, he stuck me in his and nary said a word since.
Can I roll insight on her?
Sure.
Okay. That's a 17. I don't know what my bonus is. It might be -1, so 16.
You believe her. She's
Okay.
clearly delusional.
Yeah, yeah.
But as far as you can tell, she really believes the things that she's saying.
Okay. All right.
Like, all right. Yeah, follow me. Don't get in my way.
I won't. I shall be your faithful squire.
Great.
She take out her spear and like try to find her way.
It's so exciting! This is I always dreamed!
If you are okay.
Oh, yes. Shh,
Yeah.
yes.
Shut up.
Quieter than a butterfly's wings.
Good.
Okay, and I want to like continue making my way.
Yeah, so you make your way out into the hallway. It's well lit with sconces all along the stretch of hallway, and there are various tapestries with sort of dark and ominous-looking figures painted in each. To the right is just the end of a hallway, but it stretches on towards the left.
Okay. Yeah, I want to go to the left then. I want to go the way that I think there are more things to go towards.
You do so. So you begin to head down the hallway. Give me a perception check.
Out of the box. Out of the box. Get back here, you rascal. That's a 9.
Okay. You make your way down the hallway. Spear brandished, Gertruda following behind, dutifully silent, but you maybe like throw your eyes back over your shoulder a few times, and she's just beaming ear to ear. She's so excited, but she is doing a good job of staying quiet.
Good.
She's so excited though.
Okay.
However, as you make your way down the hallway, you take a step and you feel a rush of air behind you. As you turn around, and there is now a glass partition separating you and Gertruda. She puts her hands up against it and says, "Oh, what manner of sorcery is this?" And then like 5 feet away on the other side of her, another glass wall comes up. And the sconces on either side of this now enclosed space immediately go out, and water starts spurting out of them like the head of a fountain, and slowly begins filling up. Oh, that's not good. And you turn around, and leaning up against one of the sides of the hallway is Strahd von Zarovich. "Oh, Kasle. All you had to do was rescue this poor little creature, and look at the mess you've gotten her into."
You know, I kind of feel like she got herself into this mess. We came here for dinner with you.
Yes.
You're gonna tempt me to save some annoying brat who thinks she's some kind of princess? How do I even know any of this is real?
The look of horror on her face as she faces drowning is certainly real.
It's convincing, sure, but real? I don't know.
It is not a temptation, Kasle, but a test. You see, you have more than proven yourself physically capable. Although I have already handily defeated you, as we have seen before.
I wouldn't say handily, but sure.
That was pretty handily.
I don't know about that. It was a little clumsy, if you ask me.
But now I wish to test you in a different way. A test of wits. We shall play a game of riddles.
Oh, God.
I shall ask you a riddle, and you will answer. If you get it correctly, you may ask me a riddle. We shall go back and forth in this manner until one of us gets 3 riddles correct. If you win, I will let young Gertruda out of her watery prison. If I win, well, I won't, and you will have until she drowns to figure out some other way to get her out of there. It has been so long since I have been human. How long can humans breathe underwater?
I'm not human either. I don't really know. Probably not long.
A good bet. Let's see. We have already been talking for a few minutes, and you can see the water is about by her ankles. We shall say, let us put 5 minutes on the clock.
You know, I'm not great at riddles. I'm kind of tempted to try other way first.
And she's going to grab her great axe and try to swing it at the glass.
Yeah, so you swing it and it clangs off.
Oh, Kasle, I forged that glass myself. It will not be shattered so easily.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah, if you want to keep trying, go ahead.
I'll take one more good swing at it.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Okay. Athletics check, you say. All right. Damn it, that's a 15.
Again, it just kind of clangs off. But I mean, there's nothing stopping you from keeping trying.
I think I want to try to like sense if I want to like examine it and see if, because I would, I'm used to breaking things. I want to look at it and sort of like very quickly adjudicate whether I think it can be done.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Okay, that was gonna be, oh boy, not my best. Fuck me, a 4.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Well,
so, what do
I
you
know
say?
I'm strong, and I know I went for it, and I also know that I don't particularly know who this woman is, or really know, or girl is, or really even believe she's real. I was like,
Okay, all right.
A game of riddles, then. Most capital. I will begin. That chamber should fill up with water in about 5 minutes, so you should probably finish before that. So, let us begin. And all the while, she's like banging on the glass behind. Help me, brave knight! Oh my god. Riddle first.
oh boy.
What has a golden head and a golden tail, but no body?
A golden head and a golden tail, but no body.
Yes, indeed.
A coin.
Very good, Kasle. You may now ask me a riddle.
All right.
So, what
What are you doing? Get me out of here!
She's like, she doesn't really know how else to prepare for like a battle of wits or otherwise, so she's like cracking her knuckles.
How far can an eagle fly into the desert?
Is this a riddle, Kasle? Or are you asking about me the anatomy of a bird?
Answer the question.
Half of as far as it can fly total.
You're like almost right.
I know.
Well, no, actually.
Yeah, she's like thinks about this for probably a good 30 seconds.
No, only halfway, because any more than that, and he's flying out.
That would presume that the desert is the same distance that an eagle can fly total.
Or less.
Let's call it a tie, huh?
No, let's call it a win for me.
Riddle number 2.
She taking another swing at the glass.
Okay, give me another athletics check.
Fuck. 17.
Oh, no, not quite. Yeah, again, it just pings off. All right, riddle number 2. What are we at? Whoa, running out of time, Kasle. It's like up to, it's like reaching up, it's like moving up to like almost her collarbone now.
Yeah.
What wears a leather coat and can take you to far away lands without you taking a single step?
A camel before you skin it.
That's not the answer, but you're
it's a
not
good
wrong. Very well, I give to you. I was thinking a book, but I can't say you're wrong.
Not much of a reader.
Oh, I know. Very well, you may ask me another. Kasle, time is ticking.
I don't really know any riddles. How do you find water in a desert?
Wait for it to rain?
It never rains. No, you're wrong. I'd call that a win.
Very well, very well. No point for me. I do not have your wisdom of the desert. Oh, God forbid.
Well, more's the pity.
Very well. It is 2-1. You have one more riddle to answer. You have heard me, but never seen me. I never speak back unless you speak to me. Who am I?
I've heard you, but not seen you.
45
seconds left. She's like treading water now, as like moving up towards the ceiling.
I've heard you, but not shut up. I've heard you. Heard you, but not seen you. You don't speak back unless I speak to you.
Tick tock.
She takes a swing at the glass.
Nat 20! Oh my god! Okay, describe it.
Fuck this! She takes her ring. She thinks about it for a few seconds and goes,
I told you, Strahd, I'm not that great at riddles, and takes a great action and just, whoop, bam!
Oh, and at first nothing happens, and he gives a little chuckle. Oh my god, just as the time runs out! That's such good D&D! Just as the time runs out! So you swing at it, and at first nothing happens, and he just gives a little, I told you, Kasle. Nothing can break that glass. And it like spider webs out from the point of impact that your axe struck, and the glass shatters. The water comes spilling out into the hallway, soaking you and drenching the feet of Strahd von Zarovich. And Gertruda, she's like a wet Pomeranian in her big dress. Her mascara's like running down her cheeks. And Strahd just looks back up at you and says, "You're no fun."
I want to see if there's a moment that he's distracted by like the glass breaking and the water torrenting out, that I can just tackle him.
Go for it, yeah. Roll the hit.
Okay. So what I really want to do is I want to just grab him by the lapel and just project myself into him with so much force that I knock him back and basically Nala and Simba pin him.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's going to contest, but I'll do it at disadvantage because he's...
Roll for yams.
Because he's distracted by his feet getting soaked.
What stat do you want me to roll?
So it'll be like a grapple check.
Okay, so that's strength.
So strength, yeah.
Okay.
It's an athletics roll, essentially.
Athletics, okay. Because if it's so athletics, that's a 25.
That beats his. Yeah, so he looks down and maybe lifts one fine boot and scoffs as the leather is ruined. And just as he's looking back up, you slam into him and tackle him to the ground.
And as I'm sitting there and just left hand scrunched around his fancy ascot and right hand cocked back with a fist.
Maybe you're not as good at forging glass as you think you are. Maybe you're not as strong as you think you are. And maybe you're not as strong as me.
I guess we'll find out, won't we, Kasle?
You promised me safety tonight.
And I have given it.
And it would be unfair of me to take the same from you tonight.
Are you going to let me go? I am your prisoner.
I am. It's just hard for me to do right now.
And he reaches one hand up from he's splayed against his back against the wet floor, and his hair is running as the water moves out. It's running in rivulets against the floor.
Of course.
And he just reaches one hand up and gives you a little pat on the cheek.
Oh, Kasle, what am I going to do with you?
And then he turns into a bat and flies off down the hallway.
Why does he always have to get the last word? I want to turn around and see where Gertruda is.
She's splayed out like a starfish on the ground, and she just looks up at you, sputtering and choking and coughing. Just as I always imagined.
I highly doubt that. We getting out of here or what?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to grab her.
And you do so. Well done. Can you send in Drogar, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, Kat.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Hey, baby.
Don't you fucking hey baby me. I wish I could have seen this coming.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right.
You hear that chime.
Yeah.
And the floor beneath your chair vanishes, and you find yourself tumbling through darkness.
I think Drogar, once he sees the floor, he gets ready to cast a spell, but it's too quick.
Yeah, it just drops out from under. Yeah.
It falls. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And as you fall through the air, you are spinning through darkness, and then suddenly, whoof, you're sitting in a pew. You are in an ornate cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
Long, deep brown lacquered pews with sort of soft red velvet puffs sat along them. Up at the front, there's the lectern from which, the priest would orate, and there's also another one of those really big ornate organs behind it. You can see, one figure sat at the organ with a cloak over their heads playing. You see one figure sat up in the front row of pews, also a cloak over their head. And you see a third figure slumped over the altar, also with a cloak up over their head.
Slumped over it?
Slumped over.
Fuck.
What do you want to do?
Drogar stands up. I do a religion check on the temple in which I'm in. That's a 14.
What are you looking for?
Just to see if I know the deity.
It's nondescript.
It's not good.
It appears so. But you look up, and this above, it's sort of a stained glass ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
At first it seems nondescript.
Right.
But you stand up and maybe begin to move about the place. And as you do, the ceiling sort of shifts like a kaleidoscope. And as you move to the sort of central aisle and start making your way, entranced by the swirling sky the ceiling above you, as you make your way down, it continues to shift. And as you reach almost that first set of pews where that first figure is sat, it comes into place. Tiamat. The sigil of the dragon.
And so Drogar looks at this symbol for a moment, and he just kind of lets out like a brooding kind of. So this is the game we wish to play. And he kind of looks around and he's looking for clues, like he's looking for more. Maybe overlooking, maybe like looking for things that aren't there. But he sees the person in the pew.
Mm-hmm. And they're as you draw closer and you see this figure, they're kind of, they have this thick cloak drawn up over themselves, but you can see them kind of rocking back and forth.
What brings you to this temple, traveler? Make a listen check.
But even as you try to focus your hearing, it's just this mumbling sensation, jumbled mumbling as they rock back and forth.
Drogar's going to deduce that they're just trapped here, like they're just somebody who's. Tell me, what is it that you speak?
The figure begins to slowly turn. And as they do so, the face is revealed to you. Sunken, sallow, tortured, and in pain. The face of one of your fallen companions. What are their names again? Can you tell me their names?
Yeah, let me, All right, you have 3. You have Massius the Red, Vena Direfist, and Terathil Viljavance. Those are the 3.
Yeah. So we'll say this first is Massius.
Yeah, the dwarf. Yeah, he's the dwarf.
He looks towards you. His eyes, black, ashy pits with sort of necrotic energy seeping out of them. And he looks to you and says, "Why, Drogar? You said you would protect us. You made a promise, a vow. And you broke that. And you have the audacity to come here now, to live while we lie in ruin." And the figure slumped over the altar, hearing the voice, picks her head up. Then,
yeah.
And again, the eyes of your companion missing, nothing but those black, ashy pits, with necrotic energy seeping into the rest of her face.
Betrayer, you are not worthy to carry the mantle of the light. And the one at the organ stops playing and turns and says, what gives you the right to live when we have suffered?
And Drogar looks at the three of them. And there's tears welling in his eyes as he looks at them. Mm-hmm. And he takes a deep breath. And he smiles. And he looks at them and he goes, you are not my friends. My friends are with me always. They are right here.
And as you speak such, even unbidden, your guardians.
Yeah.
The spell casts itself.
Yeah, I'll burn it. Yeah.
It casts itself. And as they begin to corporeate, their forms taking place, the three shadowy figures, their jaws drop and long fanged teeth protrude from their jaws. And they lance and lunge towards you, but just in the nick of time, your three spiritual guardians take form, striking down their dark counterparts in one after another, and they vanish in wisps of smoke and ash.
And Drogar, he hadn't even drawn his shield or his sword, and he just looks, and he looks up, and I think at that moment, waiting in front of him are these three forms, and he just, one at a time, he just puts a hand like on each of the faces of like these people. And like their hands kind of do like the same thing. They reach to him and he just kind of closes his eyes and as soon as they were there, they're gone and right into his mace again. At his hip.
Oh, Drogar, don't be boring. I brought you here for sport. What kind of show is this? And as you turn, Strahd is standing at the end of the aisle, making his way into the cathedral. You really believe the light reaches you here, don't you?
I know it reaches me here, Strahd.
Old fool. Set in your ways. We'll see what comes to protect you when the end comes. Will you fail then? Young Winnie? Callister? Kaz and Artemis, the way you failed them?
You see, Strahd, I know your game. For you, my friend, feed off of fear. You thrive off it. It is your life essence. And Drogar kind of leans in, and he goes, but I will not fear you.
You are close, old soldier. For I do feed off those who walk this land, but it is not of their fear. It is off what runs in your veins. I will taste your blood by the end of this, I promise you.
We shall see.
I can't wait.
All right, so Tyla. So as you'll recall, you were sat around Strahd's dinner table when suddenly the floor goes out from under you and you find yourself falling through darkness. You and Sasha both kind of tumbling through the cold dark of Strahd's castle. And in that pitched blackness, you suddenly, you feel yourself collide with something that feels like a tree branch. And as its limbs and branches sort of rake across you as you tumble, you can feel almost like grasping fingers, the branches of the tree tear away your weapons. And you continue to fall until, finally you land in soft, cool grass with sort of dew collecting on top of it. As you pick your head up and turn around, you look like you're in some sort of greenhouse. You can see the high glass ceiling above you, stained with drops of rain from the. You hear the sounds of the plinking rain on the high glass ceiling above you. It looks like you're in some sort of greenhouse, completely surrounded by these huge, lush, sort of exotic plants, and you are completely stripped of all of your weapons, having been kind of torn away as you tumbled through these grasping tree branches. What would you like to do?
So Sasha's with me?
Sasha is still with you, yes.
Okay. So I'd like to look around, kind of look at her, and be like, do you sense anything weird about this place? And then can I roll some sort of like nature check or something to try to see like, is this real or I'm assuming it's fake, but like, is there anything I can like do to figure out, like, is there a weak point where I can figure out what's going on or something? You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. So give me sort of a perception check for Sasha and give me a nature check for yourself.
Okay. Okay. Well, Sasha rolled a nat 1, so she don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled, you said nature for me?
Yeah, yes.
17.
So yeah, as you, Sasha is sort of picking herself back up to feet. Maybe the fall sort of knocked her around a bit and she's trying to come back to her senses. But as you examine around the foliage, it certainly seems real enough. And it's a lot of plants, the likes of which you've never seen before. You know, there are these huge broad-leafed plants, you know, that are like 5-6 feet across. And in fact, as you examine a few sort of vibrantly colored flowery blooms, you go to inspect one and it sort of like snaps shut almost around your finger. You have to pull it back at the last second as it sort of clamps shut like a vice. It's a strange place indeed. And as you're sort of looking around inspecting things, you suddenly hear as an arrow lances into the branch of one of the of like a big like kind of like coconut tree or whatever right in front of you, and you barely manage to stumble back as it impounds into the tree, and you whip your head around, and standing at a distance, one knocking another arrow and pulling it back in his bow, the other with a long sort of like hunting boar spear, are the two hunters from the Blue Water. And they just look at you with smirks on their faces and they say, well, funny meeting you here.
That it is. I'd like to say that it was a coincidence, but it seems like you've been on the other side this whole time.
Most certainly we have. After you gave such a generous donation to us, frankly, more money than we probably ever would have seen in our lives, the first thing we did was go and buy ourselves into Strahd's good graces. He has provided us much good sport in our time as guests in his castle. But all this we have awaited a chance to hunt the most exhilarating of prey. And it seems at last, brother, our chance has come. And they look at you grimacing.
Well, if you want a challenge, why don't you give me my weapons back?
We love good sport, but we are not suicidal. We've heard many tales of your exploits. We think this should be a matchup all the well. And just to show you that we are intent upon honesty, we will give you a head start. How does that sound?
Well, let's just call it what it is. You're two big cowards, too afraid to face me.
Talk all you want. Your pelt is going to decorate our fireplace one way or the other.
And then I'm just gonna try to surprise attack and entangle.
Oh, okay, sure, great. Roll. So that's a save on their part, right? I think it's a dex save on their part.
Strength saving throw.
Okay, great. Yeah, hang on. Let me get them. That is a 14.
Okay, so I'm at 14.
Meets it, beats it. They just got it. Shoot. So you spring the vines up all around them, but they are practiced hunters, and with sort of elegant skill, they dash out of the way of your grasping vines. The smirks on their face turning to sour expressions. Now that was not very sporting.
I'm gonna throw the entangle, and I don't even know if I'd wait to see if it hit. I'm just gonna jet.
Oh, great!
And
You're already
what I'm
on.
doing is I'm jetting, is I'm looking if I can see like a branch that like I can real quick like snap off and turn into like a really rudimentary spear. Like it's clearly not gonna have a sharp point, but at least I can like hit someone or stab them with, depending on how it breaks or something. So basically, me and Sasha are booking it, looking for like something to get some sort of weapon, and also looking for a spot to maybe turn and then wait to ambush them when they come by.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. So yeah, the entangle goes up, and the time that they have to sort of dance back gives you enough to start just hauling ass into the thickets of the greenhouse. So give me a survival check to try to find a suitable, sort of craft a spear on the fly.
Crack dice. 10 plus 16.
16. Okay. So you're making your way through the thick underbrush, and you come across sort of like a stand of bamboo shoots. And you figure the sort of sturdy bark of the bamboo will make impressive enough a foundation to make sort of a makeshift weapon. So you head over, snap that in, and then kind of crouch, and then so you've got sort of a makeshift weapon. We'll call it we're not doing full combat, but yeah, you got a serviceable enough weapon. And as you do so, as you fashion this weapon, you hear their voices kind of calling through the greenery of the greenhouse. Run as fast as you can, but we will find you, for we are the hunting men.
All right, so then if I can, I'm going to try to circle around and see if I can circle around and get behind them. And my goal here is to try to get a jump on the bowman.
Okay, great.
So,
and is there anything in particular you want Sasha to be doing as well?
She's staying with me because I'm hoping the plan is to, if we can get a jump on him, whether I hit him with another entangle, or me and Sasha just try to do a quick strike together.
Okay.
So that's why we're staying like kind of navigating together.
Gotcha. Okay, great. So, so you hear them call out, and you sort of begin navigating your way through the greenery, trying to sort of like skate around where you think they are located. Give me another survival check to move through the thick forests, the thick greenery. We'll call this your favored terrain, since it's essentially like a man-made forest.
Cool. And then, Sasha will be kind of helping me figure out where they are, too.
Great. So then, great. Take it with advantage.
All right. Okay. And then survival, you say?
Yes.
That will be with my favorite terrain bonus, a 21.
Okay, great. All right. So you make your way through the thick underbrush, trying to stay low, trying to stay silent, taking cues from Sasha, who, of course, moves effortlessly and silently through the underbrush. Her shoulder, those like slinky shoulders cats do when they're on the hunt. Kind of taking your cues from her, you make your way through the thick greenery. And as you do so, just with that 21 at the last second, you notice something a little suspicious. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no! 9.
9. Oh shit. Okay. So you're making your way through the underbrush, but you're really trying to focus on, trying to like hold their position where you assume them to be. You don't have a visual on them at the moment, but Sasha's ears are up and you're really trying to, sort of navigate your way. But you feel a sort of crunch under your foot as you're focused on the horizon ahead of you, trying to isolate them. And you feel this crunch and you hear the whirring of sort of makeshift machinery, which you can sort of instinctively pick out as a snare. And suddenly from up above you, there's sort of like a latch release, and suddenly all of these snakes fall through the air, raining down on top of you. What would you like to do?
So if I can't dive out of the way, then I think slowly maneuver my way out of the pile of snakes to try not to piss any of them off. The initial reaction would be like if I could die, but if it was just like, oh shit, they're on me, then it's like, all right, now slowly make your way.
So after activating the snake trap, they fall from the sky and they all look pretty aggravated. And then one, this long, sort of like black one, reels up and sort of like a cobra hood expands out and it bares its venomous fangs. It looks pretty aggressive and as if it's just about to bite. What would you like to do?
Can I use my bamboo stick to kind of pole vault out of the pile of snakes?
Sick, yes, absolutely. Give me an either athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay, all right, come on, dice. All right, that's not bad. We're gonna go acrobatics, and that is a 19.
Oh, sick. So yeah, you kind of get a little bit of a running start and then pole vault your way out of this sort of like a menagerie of snakes. Just as the cobra begins to lunge, you just barely make it clear its hooded head as it strikes forward. And you sort of tuck and roll and you've made it beyond this, this snake trap and continue on through the forest. That then gives them a chance to try to locate you, though, which they are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So yeah, you again hear their voices, and they kind of it seems almost as if they're kind of throwing their voices. You know, you kind of hear them coming from all around you in the greenery, and you hear, "Hope our little poisonous friends weren't too rude, my friend." But they do not locate. They still have not been able to locate you. So you want to continue on through the forest?
Yeah, paying a little more attention to where I'm stepping in for potential traps.
Great. Okay. Give me another survival check then.
Oh, come on. I am rolling so bad right now. That is, and oh wait, we're counting this as favored terrain,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
That gives me some bonus points. Okay, 14.
Okay, yeah, that's enough. Continuing to make your way through the forest, you can tell by now, by the sort of the skill and strangeness of that last trap, you can tell that these guys are pretty expert trappers. So now a little more aware, you're making your way through the forest. And as you do so, again, managing your instincts just in time catching in to sort of catch the next one. Please give me another dexterity saving throw.
Oh no!
Oh no!
11.
11. Oh shoot. Okay. So this one, you place your foot down, and you're surprised. Your honed instincts usually you'd be able to pick out traps like this from a mile off, but these guys know their business. So you put your foot down, and you think you're safe because you think it's just sort of like a bear trap. You see levers sort of moving up, so you expect it to just be sort of like one of those bear leg traps. So you pick your foot up, and you think you've made it out just in time, but instead of snapping shut, it's just the two levers come up and runes inscribed on sort of these two sort of iron pikes illuminate. And suddenly there's a flash of freezing cold. And all the way your entire right leg is sort of snap frozen and you lose the ability to sort of freely move it. What would you like to do?
Oh, okay. All right. So I look at Sasha and I look at my leg and I go, well, I guess we're not catching them by surprise anymore. And I look for a place that I can defend. And what I'll try to do is I'm going to try to, is there trees or something I can climb?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you want to try to take an aerial position?
So yeah, what I'm going to try to do is lead some tracks into a space and then kind of find a way to to circle around and like so they might walk past the tree I'm in. You know what I mean? Like if I kind of walk past and then circle.
Make it look
around
like
a
you
couple
walked
trees.
past the tree. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do that and climb that tree. Then I'm gonna have Sasha, kind of sit off, like right across from me, kind of, but like hidden in like brush or something, or maybe if she wants to climb another tree, like right. So we're both like pretty close to each other though, but like kind of like looking at the path they'd have to walk between us, maybe.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So give me give me a survival check to try to make that trail, and then give me an athletics check at disadvantage to try to get up the tree because your leg is frozen.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'll give you the survival first. Ooh, baby. Okay, so that's a natural 16, and then with my proficiency bonus and the favored terrain, that's a +9 on top, so that's a 25.
Okay, great. So then give me the a 25, you said?
Yep.
Okay, great. And then give me the other one, the athletics check at disadvantage to try to get up the tree.
Okay. Can I do acrobatics? All right, cool. Perfect. Ooh, and I rolled a 19 and a 13.
Hey!
So that is a dirty 20.
Excellent. Okay, so you managed to make the trail look like it's sort of leading off further into the scrub, maybe dragging that frozen leg, leaving like a trench in the mud behind you. And then you manage miraculously to get up the tree, maybe like swinging the frozen leg, almost like as, to use it as sort of leverage to like swing yourself up into the branches. But through a Herculean effort, you manage to get up into the branches. And then you just want to wait.
Yep. Then just keeping a lookout and waiting. And then I'm going to try to set up a mini little ambush.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So you wait for a few moments until you hear them, you hear some slight rustling in the brush. Maybe a little overconfident since they heard their freezing trap go off. You see one of them make the one with the spear making his way into the little clearing underneath the tree that you're in. And he is just sort of really slowly, spear leveled, making his way in. And you see him sort of crouch down on one knee, put a few fingers into the mud and like follow. You see him follow with his eyes the tracks that you led. And he like gets a confident grin on his face, picking himself up and begins to follow your trail. You feel like you successfully fooled him. So what would you like to do?
Can I do a quick perception check to see if I think the archer's anywhere around?
Yeah, sure.
And can I have Sasha's help on this too?
Sure, yeah. You want to do it with advantage?
Yeah. 18.
And that is going to be against his stealth. Oh, yeah. Meets it, beats it. Yeah, you got it. Oh, wow. So, wow. Yeah, okay, great. So you can see, you see him moving out into the path beneath you, but it's almost a little too perfect, right? And so you cast your eyes around from your hidden vantage point. You sort of cast your eyes around, and at first you don't see anything, but you think it's strange that the one with the spear is just moving by himself, until only one as practiced as yourself could pick this out. But you can see the archer also up a tree. It's just like, maybe there's a flash of lightning for just a split second and it illuminates some of the upper branches of the trees in here. And you can see him also sat from a vantage point. You can see his eyes kind of tracking his partner as he moves through the clearing. He is sort of like decked himself out in kind of a ghillie suit. He has like a bunch of the plant life covering him. And if not for that lucky flash of lightning, you certainly would have missed him. But you can see him at a distance with his bow nocked, kind of tracking his partner. What would you like to do?
So now, if the spearman follows my trail around to the backside of the trees, would I be out of view of that archer?
If he followed it, did you set the trail kind of moving around the trunk of the tree?
Pretty much, yeah. So I walked like up. That's like how I imagine it. I walked up and then like further down the path, I kind of looped around a tree and came back.
Gotcha. Great. So yeah, you wager. Yeah, if he made his way all the way around, then the trunk would be blocking the sight lane of the archer from you.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to see if I can wait for him to get to that point, and then I'm gonna like kind of telepathically or signal to Sasha like, there's an archer in that tree. We're gonna try to ambush the spearman if he gets over here. So I'll leave it up to Sasha if she can move without the archer seeing him, she will, or if not, I'll tell her to hold, and we'll just spring into action when I like let her know.
Okay, great. So the one with the hunting spear makes his way following your tracks, and he comes around the side of the trunk, but does not make his way entirely around. He seems a little, like he knows where his partner is, and he seems a little wary out of being out of full view of his partner covering him. But he's at the base of the trunk, and you figure from where he is now, you would maybe have half cover from the archer's shots. You could, but if you can maybe try to spring now, or if you want to wait and see what he does, the choice is yours.
I'm gonna hit him with entangle, and then I'm gonna try to pounce on him and use my half cover.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's see what happens. So sending up the vines again, another strength saving throw from him. He's gonna make it again, unfortunately, with a 16. But yeah, so the vines come up and he manages to jump out of the way. What do you want to do?
All right, so I'm and it's he's at least in what's it called, slow terrain or whatever, right?
That's true. Yes, that's true. Yeah, it would be rough terrain for him. Yes.
So I'm gonna hop down, and then am I in like striking distance if I jumped onto him, or?
Yeah, you're like have you ever seen a leopard hunt an antelope from out of a tree? Like you could drop down right on top of him.
I'm going for it, and I'm gonna like, if I can, I'm going like bamboo down. Like I'm gonna try to stab him with this bamboo stick.
Right through the top of the head. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then as soon as I do that, that's Sasha's cue to like tear from her position and get in there to attack.
The one with the spear, or are you trying to send her to get the one with the archer?
No, she's coming with me for the spear, and then we'll try to like fight around that tree, use the tree for as much cover as we can, and fight that spearman. Because worst case scenario, we can always just back up and hold our position behind the tree, and the spearman either has to come after us without the archer's help, or we can regroup and retreat or something.
Okay, great, cool. Okay, perfect. So give me. We're not in combat, we're just kind of doing theater of the mind. But give me like roll to hit essentially with the spear.
Okay. All right.
With your makeshift spear.
Come on, dice. Natty 19.
Oh, baby, okay.
So I don't know if you... I don't know what I would even add to that.
Well, with the spear, it would technically be your strength.
Okay. So that would be a dirty 20.
All right, we'll take it. Yeah, so that'll do it. So you leap from your... position in the treetop and fall through the air. And he was alerted by your entangling vines. So he looks up and he knows where you are. He sees you coming and sort of readies himself. But because of the rough terrain, he's not able to get out of your way. So you slam down on him. You bring the spear down, catching him in the shoulder. And he cries out and hollers in pain as you're sort of locked together at the base of the tree now. And Sasha bursts forth through the foliage, making breakneck speed towards your position. But the archer is going to, he sees this unfolding too, so he's gonna try and take a shot at you. Yeah, so you're sort of like locked in, you're sort of like locked up with the one guy, and you can see the archer take a shot. Is there anything you wanna try and do?
I mean, if I can, like, I'll even like let go of my spear and like grab the spearman's spear, and like if I could like turn him so he's like kind of use him as a human shield.
Try to intercept the arrow. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's awesome. Give me like a grapple check. So that it's an athletics check essentially.
All right. Oh, that's not great. Okay, that's an 11.
All right, let's see what he does. He gets a 10. So with your spear like in his shoulder, he tries to fight you, but he's still caught a little off guard by you striking from above. And so you wheel him around and and the arrow strikes him in the back. And then Sasha makes her way in too. If you want to roll a hit for Sasha.
Yeah, I want to roll a hit for Sasha. Woo-hoo! Woo! Nat 20.
No, okay, it's over.
Nat
It's
20.
over, man. So yeah, you leap down, get him in the shoulder, wheel him about. The arrow hits him in the back, and then Sasha comes through and absolutely you tell me, how does it happen?
She comes through, she sees like the arrow, she sees me fighting with him, and she's seen me in a couple tough spots recently, so she's like ready to let go all of her rage and just think she comes through with just all her speed and momentum into one just powerful strike that comes across like the back of his neck or something and just rips, all across.
Yeah, you see his eyes go wide with shock, fear, and surprise as he begins to cough up blood and just falls to the damp floor of the greenery. You hear from the distance the archer cry out, "Zoldar, no!" And lets another arrow loose. What would you like to do?
If I could duck back behind a tree, that's what I would do.
Sure, give me a dexterity save.
Oh, baby. That is a dirty 21.
Yeah, you manage to dive back behind the tree and you hear the arrow plunk into the bark, or whiz by and go scattering off into the leaves where you were just a second before. "I'll make you pay for that," you hear his voice cut through the air. All right, so you've got one down, but there's still another one. What do you want to do?
All right, so I'm going to take the spearman's spear first.
Great, the boar spear, yeah.
Well, yep, yeah, and then, being an archer, I'm just going to look for a spot where he's just going to have to face me, like where there's too much shrubbage in the way, and I'll try to... Yeah, I don't even want to try to circle around them because there's too many traps. So I'm just going to look for a nice defensible position and, just kind of same deal, have like Sasha in another location and we're just going to wait for him. And then I'll probably just yell out and I'll just be like, "I got your brother's spear. If you want it, come get it."
You dare! You are not half the hunter he was, you coward!
I'm not half the hunter, but I managed to defeat him with no weapons.
Yeah, you hear him sort of mutter off a string of curses in a language you don't understand. All right, so you sort of crouch down, and everything goes quiet for a minute. And for a few minutes, all you can hear is the sounds of the rain on the glass ceiling above you. And then you hear a shuffle. Give me a perception check. Putting your hunter senses to the test tonight.
Oh yeah. And I get my bonus. That's a dirty 18.
Perfect. So everything goes quiet for a little bit until suddenly you hear just like a little hint, a ruffle of sound as his leathers sort of clank together, as you can hear him go, "Yeah!" And then you see a small parcel fly through the air. It looks like some sort of little, oiled leather pouch flying through the air. You're not quite sure what it is, but you're sure it's bad news. You have a second to react. What do you want to do?
Whatever I can do to get out of the range of wherever I think this thing might splash or whatever.
Sure. Just diving to the side. All right, give me a dexterity saving throw.
16.
Oh, okay. So you go to dive to the side, and you see this thing kind of tumble through the air until finally it bursts, and there is this enormous flash of light. It's sort of like a flashbang just pops off, and you try to shield your eyes, but you can't. You're sort of out of the main sort of like concussive impact of it, but the bright flash still blinds you a little bit. You have to turn away your eyes just for a second. And in that time, you hear the twang of an arrow once again. And does a 18 get you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so you feel an arrow sort of lances its way through the air, and you feel it impact into your shoulder, and to your horror, entangling vines burst out of it, wrapping around you, a very familiar technique, and sort of like pin your arms to your side, and you just fall over, and fall kind of bound to the floor. And you can hear his footsteps make his way closer and closer to you. What do you want to do?
Shit. So I'm gonna reach out for Sasha and see if she can help me at all, and then I'll do what I can to try to like break free or like use this, if I can use the spear tip to try to help myself out or
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so you can see you're bound up, your hands sort of snapped to your side. So you see him like making his way through the undergrowth closer and closer towards you. And as you lay there, hands bound to your side, he looks down at you smiling and says, "I told you I would find you." And he starts to draw a bow back, ready to sort of lay an arrow into you at point blank range. But before he can let it fly, Sasha flies through the air, knocking his hands, and the arrow goes flying off into the distance. And she begins sort of just like skirmishing with him. Like skirmishing with him as he's like driving him back. Yeah, what do you want to do? Try to use, like try to maybe like rub up against the spear point and try and cut some of the vines or something like that? Get yourself free?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, great. Give me so yeah, as Sasha's like kind of holding him back, swiping with her claws, skirmishing with him, keeping you safe for buying you a little bit of time. Give me what would that be? I guess like sleight of hand or athletics to try and get out.
All right. Natty 15. Let's see. All right, I'll add a 4 for sleight of hand to that, so that's a 19.
Awesome. So you kind of like worm your way along the forest floor over to the boar spear, and you kind of like start rubbing yourself up against the sharp edge of the spear as Sasha is swiping with everything that she has at the other hunter, and you can feel the vines begin to come loose. And seemingly just in time as the other hunter manages to, as Sasha is like diving at him, he manages to pull out a little dagger and swing it around and just get it into, you can hear her like cry of pain as he like gets a dagger into her side and throws her off to the side. But not, she rakes a claw across his face as he tosses her, and he turns back to you with hate in his eyes and blood pouring down his face. And again, knocking another arrow, making his way back over to you just as the vines come loose. He's leveling another shot. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna see if I can like how far away is he? Like I'm gonna like either like dive for cover or like dive and roll at him and then try to like swipe his feet or something like
with the spear. Yeah, he's like stepping back towards you again, trying to get you from point blank range. So yeah, if you want to like tuck and roll and get his feet out from under him, that's badass. Yeah, give me an acrobatics or athletics.
All right. That is a 23.
Oh yeah! Oh, that'll do it. Yeah, you. I mean, you go describe it. What happens?
So yeah, like right as I see him ready to level a shot, and I get up and grab my spear, I just dive forward and roll to try to throw off his aim. And when I like come back forward, I just swipe his feet out with him. And then when he goes down, I'll stand up and I'll hold the spear at his throat. And then I'll be like, I hope you're ready to talk now, or you'll meet the same fate as your brother.
He's like laying back on the floor, blood, like one eye, blood running into one of his eyes, which has forced it closed, and he just looks up at you and says, "Ugh, just finish it then, huh?"
Not before you tell me what I want to know. Now I can make this easy, or I can make this hard. You tell me.
What do you want to know?
First of all, I want to know where the hell we are. and I want to know everything you can tell me about Strahd and what you know about his defenses.
I don't know, this is his greenhouse. I don't know, back when this place was of the living. I don't know, you have gardeners tend to it? Fuck if I know, but they gave it to us as our hunting grounds when we bought our way into his services. I don't know, what can I tell you that you don't already know? He's a fucking vampire.
Well, how the hell did I get here?
I don't know. He is this place. He has weird power and command over it. Anything he dreams or imagines or wants to come true does so. He teleports. He's a fucking wizard. I don't know. You've seen what he can do.
How long did you know I was coming here?
Well, all I know is he said you were all coming to dinner and that finally we would have our chance for a great sport, for a great hunt. Obviously, we underestimated you.
Do you know where my friends are?
Somewhere in the castle, presumably.
All right. How many times have you been in the castle? Do you know anything about his defenses?
Well, my brother and I explored it a fair bit. I don't know. What do you want to know?
Too much to have in a simple conversation. You got two choices right now. You can come with me, and you can try to redeem your name and your brother's and do some good, or you can stay in Strahd's service, and you can share the same fate as your brothers.
We already sold our souls to the devil. There's no going back from me, so if we are meant to be enemies, just end it already.
There's no such thing as no going back. I don't care what you promised him. You have an opportunity right now to do some good. Be someone your brother might have been proud of instead of just a scumbag looking for an easy hunt.
Give me a persuasion roll.
That is a 16.
You're really not going to kill me? After we trapped you here, hunted you like an animal?
I'd like to hope people can do better. People can change. If we're going to free this place, we need all the help we can get.
He told us you were usurpers trying to steal his throne, steal our land.
We're not trying to steal anyone's throne or anyone's land. We're trying to give the people their land back. They don't need someone like him ruling over their daily lives. These people want to be free, and we're here to show them what freedom can be.
Well, you have already proven yourself a better hunter than I am now. I suppose a better man. If I come with you, if I help you, you'll let me live?
Of course. You do good, you help these people. You help us free this land.
And he sort of picks himself up and dusts himself off a little bit, wipes a little bit of the blood out of his eye.
This is not how I thought this would go, but I am glad for it.
And he extends a hand to give you a shake.
And I'll shake his hand.
As you clasp hands and begin to shake, and he even gets like a little grin on his face, suddenly, striking from out of the deeper greenery, you saw a small one earlier, but one of those vice-like, Venus flytrap-like plants, but massive, 6 feet wide, big enough to swallow a man, launches itself out of the forest and closes its vice-like jaws around him. You have just a flash of a second of his panicked face and scream as the interlocking, sort of teeth, for lack of a better word, close and pull away, and you're left standing there just holding his arm, severed by the jaws of the plant. And it pulls itself back into the green. You can hear his muffled cries from inside the plant body as it draws itself back into the forest. And then stepping from around the trunk of the very tree from which you sprung your ambush. Ooh, well, at least someone is eating good tonight. It's Strahd.
So this is what you call a peace offering dinner?
A piece of, well, I simply wanted to test your abilities.
I thought we were here to talk about ways we can help each other out.
Are we not? Did these men not cheat you, dishonor you, betray you? Have I not delivered justice for you unto them?
No, you try to give them a weaponless prey. The only reason I'm still standing here and they're not is because of my battle prowess.
Ah, precisely. This I wanted to test. And you have succeeded. More than that, with flying colors. You have proven yourselves a noble hunter. And this is what I say, Artemis. My land is full of game, beasts, monsters, things that could keep you and your beloved animal companion occupied for, well, an eternity. Why not join me, Artemis? Be the master of hunt at my castle. You will have purveyance over all the forests of this land. You may range as you see fit. All I need is a promise of your willingness to join me. You need not swear fealty. I know we are not there yet, but I am trying to offer a hand to you. What do you say?
You think you know a lot, but you've shown me how little you truly know. I don't hunt because I like it. I hunt because I have to, and in hopes that one day I won't have to anymore. I'd like to live in peace. I'd like to live in an area where animals roam free and there is no war. I would think one as yourself, who's seen what a ruler can do to a land, would know that there are many options. You want entertainment? You don't have to make people fight for that. Why don't you let these people be free? See the marvelous things they can come up with when you let people live the lives they want. You want a challenge? Why don't you find someone who has the strength to make it a real fight?
I have no doubt that you and your companions will provide me such a fight. In due time. You disappoint me, Artemis. You and your companions, so dedicated to your noble ideas. Nobility and virtue have their place. But let me promise you, Artemis, Barovia is not the place for such lofty ideas. We will have this battle of which you speak. But tonight, I have promised you safety. And I am nothing if not a man of my word. But we shall be seeing each other again very soon, my friend. I hope you have your bow the next time we encounter each other. We don't want things to be too easy now, do we?
You might regret those words.
I regret much about my life, Artemis. But challenging all of you, that I relish. And he claps his hands and you again find yourself falling through darkness. The Critical Fayle DM Strahdcast features Dan Ison as Callister, Ned Pryce Iannacone as Drogar, Campbell O'Hare as Winnie, Kay Devine-Jones as Kaz, Tyler Kanter as Artemis, and me, Trevor William Fayle, as your DM. The Strahdcast is edited by Kay Devine-Jones and designed by Dan Ison. Curse of Strahd and its original characters are the creative property of Wizards of the Coast. Our patrons mean the world to us. Your generosity never fails to amaze and inspire. Folks like Paigey, Kaylee Ray, Watson Gender, Doza, and Sarah. To directly support the show, you can head over to patreon.com/criticalfailedm and subscribe starting at just $5 a month. You'll instantly unlock over 25 Goon exclusive extended gameplay video clips, including Callister's fateful talk with Ezek, a bunch of episodes of Goon Talk, our patron-only talk show podcast, Kay's Keeper Notes from our Call of Cthulhu campaign, Madness and Mercy, and so much more, with new stuff being added every week. You'll be sent a code for 15% off everything in our merch store, etsy.com/shop/criticalfailedm, where you can still pick up a Goon Pin button pack featuring adorable art of the party by Rose and Pomegranate.
You'll be invited to our private Discord server where all of us goons love to hang out, and you can join play-by-post D&D sessions with the Gaggle, a community of nerds that regularly display levels of kindness and joy I frankly thought impossible on the internet. If you're not ready to support us financially, there are still plenty of ways to help us out. You can follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Critical Fail DM, binge Madness and Mercy on our YouTube channel, and join us there every other Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time when we do live listens of new episodes of the Strahdcast. Or rate and leave us a review wherever you like to listen. Thanks, Dungeoneers, and take your day with advantage.